The day that Trump and Musk torched their partnership, an afternoon of escalating attacks left the men threatening to wield their power against each other. This is exactly what President Trump and his advisors were trying to avoid. Over the last weekend, Musk has told associates he is angry about Trump's decision to withdraw the nomination of Jared Isaacman, a Musk ally, to run the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Trump aide Sergio Gore gave Trump a file at the president's request about Isaacman's donations to Democrats. Musk defended Isaacman and tried to minimize the significance of the donations, but Trump said he wanted to pull the nomination. When aides talked about Musk derisively in his final stretch at the White House, Trump was generally positive about him, even in private. The two of them clashed over personnel and tariffs. Trump listened to complaints about Musk from cabinet secretaries and occasionally flashed annoyance with him, but he was generally kind to Musk behind the scenes, aides said. Though Musk clashed with top Trump aides, he had largely smoothed over tensions by the time he departed. This is an unfortunate episode from Elon, who is unhappy with the one big, beautiful bill because it does not include the policies he wanted, said White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. The president is focused on passing this historic piece of legislation and making our country great again. Senior Trump aides swallowed their irritation with Elon Musk and plan a chummy Oval Office send-off for him. They briefed the president on allegations of Musk's drug use, so Trump would be ready to defend the billionaire if reporters raised the issue at his goodbye event, aides said. The fissure has reverberated inside the White House. Musk's top aide, longtime Trump advisor Katie Miller, left the White House with him last week, according to people familiar with the matter, and now works with Musk. Miller, who held the special government employee designation, was with Musk at almost all times in the White House. Her husband, Stephen Miller, is one of Trump's most loyal and most visible aides. He has defended Trump's legislative agenda from Musk's broadsides in recent days, and Musk unfollowed him on X this week. The Millers had spent extensive time with Musk, even outside the White House. Trump played down any conflicts with Musk in a meeting with Republican senators, even though the billionaire had spent the past few days disparaging the president's legislative agenda. That goodwill disappeared in meeting with German Chancellor Friedrich Merz. Trump laid out his frustrations with Musk, marking the start of a whirlwind day. Shortly before noon, 11:47 a.m., Trump sat down in the Oval Office with Merz for a chat about predictable topics, trade, the NATO alliance, and the war in Ukraine. It took about 13 minutes for the president to unload about his billionaire benefactor, expressing irritation that Musk had been critical of his legislative agenda as too costly. It started gently. "I've always liked Elon," said Trump when asked about Musk's criticism of his big beautiful bill. "I'd rather have Elon criticize me than the bill." But before long, Trump ratcheted up his rhetoric. "Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we will anymore," Trump said. The president also suggested that Musk's help on the campaign trail made little difference to the outcome of the election. "I think I would have won Pennsylvania anyway," he said. As Trump spoke about the swing state, White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles nodded her head vigorously. It was a visual reminder of how Musk had deeply angered much of the West Wing staff, with Trump left as his main defender. 12:10 p.m., the fight moved to social media before the Oval Office event ended. "Without me, Trump would have lost the election. Dems would control the House, and the Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate," Musk wrote, adding, "Such ingratitude." Shortly before 2 p.m., Musk posted a poll on X asking his more than 200 million followers whether it was time to create a new political party that would better represent most of the country. Within minutes, Mark Cuban, the billionaire businessman who has flirted with running for president, posted on social media 3 checkmarks, next to Musk's suggestion of starting a third party. Steve Bannon, a Trump booster who is influential with the president's base, suggested on his podcast that Musk's immigration status should be investigated. Musk was born in South Africa and is a naturalized U.S. citizen. You're going to have a few of the tech brothers and the crypto crowd stick with Elon because you have the cult of Elon. But MAGA will 100% back Trump. You aren't going to have a person in MAGA who will buy a Tesla, Bannon said. In response to a social media post from a prominent conservative saying Republicans might have to choose sides between the two men, Musk wrote, "Oh, and some food for thought as they ponder this question. Trump has 3.5 years left as president, but I will be around for 40+ years." At 2:20 p.m., Ashley St. Clair, the mother of one of Musk's children weighed in, who has had a messy fight with Musk over paternity, asked the president on X if he needed help ending the relationship, tagging Trump and writing LMK if you need any breakup advice. And by 2:37 p.m., Trump upped the ante. He posted on social media that the easiest way to save money in the federal budget is to terminate the government contracts that go to Musk's companies. "I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it," Trump wrote. He added in a separate post that Musk was wearing thin and said the billionaire just went crazy when Trump backed erasing benefits for electric vehicles in his mega bill. Musk responded to that by saying he would decommission the SpaceX craft that is used to take U.S. astronauts back and forth from the space station. Musk appeared to backtrack on his threat to decommission the Dragon spacecraft Thursday night while replying to an X user. Around 3:10 p.m., Musk went on the offensive. Time to drop the really big bomb at real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public, adding, "Have a nice day, DJT." Musk was referring to files from a federal investigation into alleged sex trafficking and abuse by Epstein, the disgraced financier. 3:40 p.m. when a user on X asked if Musk was actually planning to cancel Dragon, the spacecraft that will transport American astronauts, Musk responded evasively, suggesting he was just kidding. Just after 4 p.m., Musk retweeted a post calling for Trump to be impeached and Vice President J.D. Vance to be named president, adding an affirmative, yes. Trump was taken aback by Musk's escalation, according to his advisors. Trump told advisors he didn't believe he was harsh about Musk in the Oval Office and was surprised at how aggressive Musk became. 5 p.m., Trump's aides spent some of Thursday trying to figure out what Musk's goal was. The president told advisors Musk was just being a child, according to a White House aide. Around the same time, Trump walked into a White House meeting with the Fraternal Order of Police and made remarks. He ignored reporters' questions and didn't mention Musk. By Thursday night, Trump had publicly toyed with cutting off government contracts to Musk's companies, said the billionaire went crazy, and suggested that he is suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. The extraordinary fight between Trump and Musk that rippled across the country threatens the new MAGA governing coalition that the president built and Musk funded. It puts a target on Musk's 6 companies, many of which are heavily regulated by the federal government. And it gives Democrats a rare moment of reprieve at a low point for the party. Shares of Tesla tumbled 14%, their worst day since 2020. The public clash between Musk and Trump also jeopardized the Department of Government Efficiency, the billionaire's trademark cost-cutting effort. Doge-affiliated staff, some of whom were responsible for pushing out thousands of federal workers, texted one another on Thursday about whether they would be fired next, according to administration officials. The Trump-Musk blow-up was long predicted. Even people close to both men believed privately that their relationship was destined to implode. But the fast-paced, rat-a-tat escalation still came as a shock to a White House that has grown used to curveballs and a president who often defended Musk as his aides grew frustrated. White House officials and other allies of the president spent the day refreshing their social media feeds, watching as the situation escalated and texting Musk's posts to each other. It was a matter of time before all this started because two giant egos can't be there together, said Mark Short, who was chief of staff to Vice President Mike Pence.